those beautiful people who are running the type 9 pattern are able to see all points of view. Type 9 sits at the top of the Enneagram, and as a result, a 9 encompasses all of the other points. 9s are gifted at really knowing and feeling into the experience of everybody else. They have a great sense of acceptance of other people, all of their faults included. 9s are so gifted at feeling into the energy of another person that they accept them fully. They retreat themselves so much that allows the other person to come forward and to really be themselves. 9s are so generous in that respect, generous with allowing people to be themselves, and so self-effacing, which it can put people at ease and bring people into a state of comfort, a state of relaxation that allows people to truly be themselves. Of course, it's the same issue that gets the 9 into trouble, because these qualities tend to overfunction. The 9 is dampening down their own preferences. They're trying to dampen down conflict, and to have a preference is to come into conflict. To any kind of self-assertion of their will is in effect risking shaking that sense of tranquility that the 9 is working so hard to maintain, that sense of peace, that sense of easygoingness. To bring oneself forward, to state a preference of some kind, is to put oneself into conflict with somebody else. And that conflict threatens to basically, the 9 is concerned about being abandoned. Having any kind of conflict with somebody else is to threaten them abandoning the 9. But more even than the conflict itself, it's the decision. It's having to decide. Making a decision is so difficult for the 9, because any kind of decision could lead to that disturbance of their peace and their tranquility, the peace and tranquility of the group, peace and tranquility in the world. And so 9s would rather go to sleep to the decision, prefer not to make the decision, and kind of retreat into a base sensuality. Just kind of, live and let live. Let me enjoy my simple pleasures in life, and in that way kind of keep a sort of hazy, dreamlike sleepwalking through life. And this can result for some type 9s a kind of ghost-like existence. They're kind of because they've risen above the conflict in life, they end up kind of floating through life as a ghost, not quite there, not all there. They don't even know exactly who they are. They've just so deeply forgotten themselves that they're no longer really present in their full embodiment, their full vitality. And so in this move to try to pacify conflict, pacify not so much in terms of subduing, all that may be part of it, but more of going to sleep to it, putting it to sleep, lulling it to sleep, 9s are in effect pacifying their own agency, their own ability to decide anything, and their own flourishing, their own full embodiment, their own full activity, their full participation in the dynamism of life. All of that said, 9s help us to remember that we are all interconnected, that all of us are sharing this life together, that we all have these deep connections to other people. 9s are already so in tune with that connection on an energetic level, on a gut level, knowing the energy of the room, that 9s remind all of us to tune into that interconnectedness, to tune into that sense that we are truly all in it together.